he kind of broke it down to me, and I was just like, I see what you're saying, you know? But I also told all the dudes at the table, I was like, look, you guys have shoes. I said, if I got a shoe that have my name on it, I'll never wear anything else but my shoe.
Let's rap out about the skate shoes that weren't even categorized as skate shoes for you coming up. Like, what were some of those models from back in the day?
You know, I'm going to be honest, there was already the category of skate shoes. I started skating, and, once I realized that there were skate shoes.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I started skating when I was 12, so let's just say, like, sometime in that year or the following year, it was Vision Streetwears. For sure.
Yeah.
With the little ollie thing on the side.
Ollie patch, rubber toe.
I wore the red one all the time. It was red with a black sole. And then after Vision Streetwears, I skated in Nodus. I think it was the Nodus 1 quite a bit.
Yeah.
And then after the Nodus 1, it was, I want to say it was like Airwalk Enigmas. And then the half caps.
Were you more about Enigmas or prototypes or like 540s, or was it always Enigmas? Because like you saw Mike Carroll skating those.
That's exactly what it was.
That's exactly what it was. I figured as much.
It was the Enigmas. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, but then it was the half caps. I think a lot of my shoe, like, I don't know if inspiration is the right word. You know, what I looked at and then wanted my feet to look like was probably like, you know, a lot of Mike Carroll, a lot of the EMB stuff. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Drop some knowledge on designing this masterpiece right here, the first pro model.
This was my very first pro model.
How were you even approached about this? Like, do you remember the phone call, like the day it happened,
dude, it
like
was
how
gnarly,
it went down?
Dude. This whole thing was gnarly, man, and if I remember right, it pissed a lot of people off. Dude, I was getting offers. I was getting some heavy offers from a bunch of different shoe companies. And two of the offers were pretty heavy. And at the time, you know, I was making $1,000 a month at DC. You know, and I think I was on DC Flow for almost 3 years. I've been to Australia by myself for 3 weeks. I did all types of DC stuff, but not as a part of DC as the team. But I was getting sent and representing DC solo. You know?
Yeah.
And but I just wasn't getting put on the team. Not yet, anyway.
Yeah, I got you.
So when they finally did put me on the team, and I was in the team ad. I was psyched. The new offers from other shoe companies started rolling in, and they were gonna pay, 5 times what DC was paying.
Damn.
And they were guaranteeing me a shoe within the next year. And at the time, those shoe companies were like dope, you know? It was like, wow. Not that DC wasn't. The DC was dope too, but to go with another shoe company that's dope and they're paying me 5 times and they're guaranteeing me a shoe in the next year, that's something to think about, you know? Deerdick played a big part of this, you know? And I hit up Rob. I'm like, look, I'm getting these offers, man. Like, I think I'm going to take one of them. And he was like, you gotta hold tight, dude. Just hold tight. Just trust me. Just hold tight. I'm like, all right, dude, I'm living in, 15th and Fairmont in Philadelphia in, this 1.5 bedroom apartment right across the street from Prince's, which is, this ill bar. You know what I mean? Dude, it was so hood. It was pretty gnarly. And there was, me, my chick, Stevie, and then all the homies that came through. So it was constantly packed. And I wanted to get out of there.
Yeah, of course.
Deerdick called me up. He says, we just had a big meeting at DC. It was Deerdick, Danny, Ken, Colin, the big shots.
Gotcha.
And they said that they chose me to get the next show.
Damn.
Yeah. So I was like, whoa. And I don't remember the timeline from when he told me that news to when it actually happened, but it seemed really fast. And it just, everything came together from there. And I was just like, that's it. I'm DC through thick and thin. And the only dude that had a shoe that was as young or got it as early as I was chose to have a shoe was Muska. But at the time, Muska's shoe was like crushing it.
Yeah.
And so my answer to Ken was like, you know, when does somebody turn pro for their board company? And they turn pro when they're crushing it, right? When they're on top, when they're like the dude, you know, that's when you give them a shoe, or that's when you give them a board. And he was like, yeah. It's like, look at Muska and his shoe. You know what I mean? Like, I'm hearing it's crushing it. Like, he's at the top. And so that was my sell for me to get a shoe.
For sure, yeah.
And then after that meeting, they came back and told me I got the shoes. Oh, it was dope.
So, what was the design process like? Okay, so you got your first shoe, you're psyched, obviously. So now you got to start thinking like, okay, it's my first shoe. I want it to be dope because it's your first shoe. You know what I mean? This is something to pretty much be stressed over. How was that for you? Like,
dude, I remember that vividly. At the time, I was skating the Lynx. At the time, this was the shoe I was skating. And I remember thinking like it was the best shoe I ever skated. You know, this thing was sick. You couldn't get it off my feet. So I wanted a shoe that was more or less this, right?
An extension of that.
Yeah.
All that. I got you.
And I was visiting Deerdick, who was living in Old Town San Diego. And he was designing every shoe for DC. So he had like all the silhouette drawings, you know, and all that. And he literally like gave me a silhouette and some colored pencils, and he was like, here, think of some stuff that comes to your mind. So I drew like my dream shoe, you know, and it was this. And he was like, dude, that's the Lynx. And I'm like, nah, man, like I changed a little bit here and there, you know. And he was like, nah, it's already been done. You can't, you know what I mean? You can't do that. I don't even remember what I changed. I don't think I changed much, but it was that, you know. And he's like, nah, man, you gotta start from scratch, dude. So I just started putting shit together, and it literally was this. I mean, I don't think there was much that changed. I think they changed, you know, this piece here. I think I originally had it just going down, and they added this little guy, and I think they might have added this little guy here. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah.
But it was this. This was the shoe.
Just from your brain to paper, and then
it was a piece of paper and colored pencils, man. That's what this shoe is. What it is like, I look at it like in the car world, they got this thing called Pro Touring, and your car you had when you were, you know, your very first car could have been like the 1969 Camaro, right?
Okay.
But when you're older, when you're like 40 years old, you're not gonna want that 69 Camaro to drive like a 69 Camaro. You know what I mean? It's like you want the look of it, you know, but you want it to feel like a modern, comfortable car that, you know, drives good. So I looked at it like this, you know. This is the old one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is the new, modern, comfortable, chill. You still get the look. Like the people that really supported the one back in the day,
yeah,
they can revisit that and support it, and like it looks relevant and tight and it's comfortable and like, you know what I mean?
And they can even skate it today too. I mean, I heard a couple people already skating it.
You know what? I'm surprised. I've seen a lot of people skating it. You know, I've sent it to people like, here, check out the new shoe. You know, like fans of the old one.
Yeah.
And they're skating it. I'm like, what are you doing? And they're like, dude, this skate's all right. And I'm like, damn, all right. Okay. It looks tight.
For the Kalis one, so again, like back in the day, you were sketching. It was all based off of, you know, the Lynx. Did you ever have any other outside influences, you know, even outside of skateboarding, to be like, yo, like, that looks like a dope shoe for like a basketball sneaker or like a soccer shoe or anything like that?
I did not. No?
Damn.
No. I never forgot what Rob told me. He was like, yo, you gotta start from scratch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was the one thing that stuck in my head where, you know, like, I remember Rob would be going and buying all kinds of shoes and like trying to figure out which pieces he wants from, you know, this, that, and the other, and I just don't have the capability to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not sure like which part of the shoe I like. I either like the shoe or I don't like the shoe. You know, it's hard for me to like break it down and talk about what I do or don't like. You know, it's just either that looks dope or that doesn't, or that feels dope or that doesn't, and that was it. So it was always from scratch.
What about your top 5 favorite skate shoes of all time? I mean, it could be from DC's catalog, outside DC's catalog. Top 5 in no order.
I have to say that old Vision Streetwear shoe. But I think I was so young and new at skating, you know, that it was just like, that was my first real, like, feel like a skater, you know, look like a skater.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Probably say the Lynx, without a doubt. Without a doubt, the Lynx. The Sal Barbier, the 23.
Nice.
That was a proper ass shoe. I'd say my first shoe, for sure. My 6th shoe.
The 6th one?
Yeah. I wish I had it here, but yeah, the 6th one was good. The 6th one was like the closest to what the old Lynx was to me.
I got you.
Because it had the blocked out panels like that, you know?
Yeah.
And then they let me do a camo one, and I was a camo freak, so I still am a camo freak. How many is that?
I think that's 5. So the 6th shoe, Vision Streetwear, Sal 23, Lynx, and your first pro. Top 5. I'm not gonna lie, I thought you were gonna say half caps. I thought, because
I'm not gonna give them no shine. Yo, nothing I said is relevant right now.
No. I'm not even saying it in that sense, because when I do talk to pros about like what their favorite shoes of all time growing up, I feel like people just have that love, romance nature to throw back to like one of the first shoes, kind of like they did with Vision, but everybody was on half cabs back in the day.
Yeah, but they're all gonna say that. They're all gonna say half cabs. It's because like the dudes that were actually rocking the half cabs, they're all looking at them like, damn, those are the illest dudes. So, you know, they're putting that on and they're not actually thinking about how that shoe felt. They're thinking about how they looked, and they were hoping to look like them.
Puffing out the tongue all the way.
Yeah, I'm talking about like
Rock that one lace.
the best shoes that I skated in. Those shoes.
Best shoe, your favorite shoe, the best one in terms of quality that you skated, and then hit me with the worst shoe that you skated.
All brands, or
Either
just my brand?
either all brands, yours, whatever you want to do.
I think the best shoe I ever skated. Wait, quality. The best shoe. Dude, it'd be a toss-up between my first shoe.
We can make it a tie.
In the Lynx. I think it's a tie.
It's a tie between
these
these two? Okay.
Yeah. Because they both lasted so long. They were hella comfortable. Granted, you did have to wear them around for a week to break them in first.
Yeah.
Both of them. But I think these two are probably my all-time favorite shoe to skate in.
All right, what about the worst? You gotta call it out. Worst shoe you ever skated?
Dude, the worst shoe I ever skated. Toss me that brown shoe right there. Toss me that shoe right there. Dude, I hate to do it. I hate
It
to
happens
do it.
though. You can't perfect the science of
But
shoes
dude,
unless you go through that
Let
process.
me tell you what though. Even though this is the worst shoe I've ever not only seen but attempted to skate, had the best marketing behind it, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Where the marketing behind it didn't even like, the shoe was so bad it ended up not even going to the shoe. It just went to the era. You know what I mean?
I got you.
It'd be this one, my third shoe, the Verdict. This thing is awful.
This thing is puffy.
Yeah, and the messed up part about it is on paper when it was being drawn, and because me and Alfonso Rawls like sat, you know what I mean? He actually already had like the concept and idea for it, so I just looked at it and was like, damn, that's pretty dope. You know, maybe if we leaned it back, did a couple things, like whatever, it looks sick on paper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then when it came in, it was just like, whoa, dude, what was that? And it was too late. It was like, I think it was like behind schedule or something. Something made it so it was what it was, you know, and that was it. But this is the photo where, you know, the nose blunt, like Love was shutting down. There was the nose blunt photo, the TV commercial, you know, the Verdict is in stuff, you know. So the content that came from this shoe, like marketing wise, was just awesome, and it'll live forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that shoe is dead to me.
We're gonna try to ignore it.
Yeah.
Just-
Yeah.